There's something more important in sales than understanding your product's features and the sales processes that you have. And I don't think enough sales leaders are teaching this, and I don't think a lot of sales reps are aware of this. So I'm going to teach it to you today, and that's understanding your buyer persona and the stage that your buyer persona is in. I call that a buying scenario, and it's very possible that buying scenario is a term that's commonly used in sales, but buying scenario and buyer persona. A buying scenario essentially is the current buying process your prospect is in. So, for example, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you're selling software, your prospect oftentimes is coming from a competitor, or your software is coming from Excel, or they're coming from pen and paper. So there are different buying scenarios that your prospect is coming from. Why is this important? Okay. The reason why this is important is because every prospect, no matter what buying scenario they're in, has FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. There's different FUD for different buying scenarios. Two of the most common buying scenarios in, I would say, and this is an arbitrary stat, 99.9% of B2B SaaS companies is what I just said earlier. The prospect is coming from a competition, a competitor, or they're coming to you, to your product for the first time, meaning they have never used a solution in the past. So, for example, when I was a VP of sales and I had a sales team, I was looking into call recording software. One of the most popular ones, probably the most popular one, is Gong, gong.io. And I got on a demo with Gong. Now, what buying scenario was I? I was brand new to solution. I've never used Gong, nor have I ever used a competitor to Gong. I was new to call recording software. The only thing I've done is record a Zoom call, but that is not a competitor to Gong or a call recording software. So I was brand new to this type of technology. That was my buying scenario. So the FUD, the fear and uncertainty and doubt that I had was the cost of it, the ease of use of it. I had all these thoughts and doubts and concerns that would potentially prevent me from going with a new solution and keep me with the status quo. In other words, with what I'm already doing, which is a bad way to do things. So what I want to say, I want to give an example of a company that I use that does this really well to figure out how to identify where the prospect is, because it's important. When you're a salesperson, you need to know what buying scenario and what FUD, or very important, what buying scenario this particular prospect is coming from. This way you can adjust the way you speak to them. You can align your approach a little bit. This company is called ConvertKit. I'm sure many of you heard of ConvertKit. Let me share my screen real quick. And if you don't know what ConvertKit is a software that allows you to send out cold or newsletters. It's a newsletter software. So think of ActiveCampaign, Constant Contact. That's what Convert is. So when I signed up to ConvertKit about a year ago, one of the processes for onboarding me as a new customer automatically on their system is this picture that you're seeing. Where are you joining us from? Do you already use an email marketing tool in your business? And I only have two options. No, I'm just starting out. And yes, I'm moving from another tool. Remember what I said, the two most common buying scenarios in sales for a prospect is coming from a competitor or brand new to solution. What is brand new to solution in this example? No, I'm just starting out. What is coming from a competitor? Yes, I'm moving from another tool. So here's an example of ConvertKit that does this in their onboarding process. So what do you do now that you know where the prospect is coming from, whether coming from a competitor or coming brand new to a solution? If the prospect is coming from something brand new, again, the concerns that they have is maybe price, because they've never used anything like this. So now you just added a brand new cost. If they're coming from a competitor, maybe feature parity. In other words, do you offer the same features that they like with the competitor in your software or not? So you have to give that some thought, because that can affect whether the prospect moves forward with you. So if you're in sales, the question is, how do you find what buying scenario your prospect is in? Yes, if you work at a company like ConvertKit, they don't really have salespeople. Everything's automated, so you're out of luck. But let's say you're working for a SaaS company and you're an account executive, or maybe an SDR, or maybe you're a VP of sales or a sales manager, or maybe it's founder-led sales, and you want to know what buying scenario your prospect is in. So the most simple way to find out is just ask the prospect, "Hey, curious, what's the reason you got on the call today?" Or, "Hey, curious, if you're sending out a cold email and the prospect agreed to show up on the call, then you can say, "Hey, curious, I know I sent you a cold email. What prompted you about my email that made you say, 'Hey, yeah, let's jump on a call?'" The prospect may say something like, "Well, we currently use X solution." Or they may say, we currently do Y and we don't have a way to automate it. And we're looking into something like this for the first time. Who knows what they're going to say, but the answer that they're going to give will give you a hint as to what buying scenario they're in. If you get an inbound lead or a demo request, you can ask them, "Hey, what's the reason you decided to schedule a demo today?" They may say something like, "We're currently using X solution and we're looking to transition out because of X." So the easiest way to find this out is just ask. What you'll typically find out, again, is, for example, here are some example responses from a prospect that's coming from another solution. They may say something like, "We're currently using competitor and we're looking to transition out because our contract is ending in about a month, but the plans that they have are too expensive for us." So now their FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, is probably, do you offer the same features and do you offer it for less than what they're offering? And it's important to understand that. If the prospect's buying scenario is they're brand new to a solution, a common response that they can give you when you ask them, "Hey, curious, what's the reason you're looking?" They may say something like, "We've been looking for a way to automate our email engagement or our email follow-up. And we're not finding, we've been doing it manually for the past year, but now we've just hired new SDRs and we're looking to scale that out." That could be a reason. And instantly you know that they're now coming brand new. They're brand new to a solution, which means you have to adjust the way you communicate with them. You have to address their FUD. So the big takeaway from this video that I want you to walk away with is you need to find out, one of the first things you need to find out when you're speaking to a prospect is, what buying scenario are they in? Are they coming from a competitor? Are they brand new to a solution? Or is there a different buying scenario that's unique to your business, your company? If you have any questions and you want me to dig a little bit deeper on this, comment below and I will provide a response. Talk soon.